Hey there, my tank-treading, cave-exploring froglings! Today we're diving deep into the pixelated depths of one of the most explosive titles from the NES era, Blaster Master. Did you ever wonder why your tank can leap like a frog on a hot plate? Or why you're battling mutant bosses in underground lairs? Well, buckle up, because we're peeling back the layers of this 8-bit onion to uncover some truly mind-blowing secrets. And stick around till the end, where I'll reveal a hidden gem so secret, it might just make you question everything you thought you knew about our beloved subterranean shoot-'em-up. Now when we dive into the murky waters of Blaster Master's origin, we unearth a tale as twisted as the game's subterranean labyrinths. Born in the golden age of the NES, Blaster Master was developed by Sunsoft, a company renowned for pushing the console's limits. But here's the kicker, the game was actually a reimagined version of a lesser-known Japanese title, Cho Wakusai Senki Metafight, which didn't quite resonate with audiences in its homeland. So why the overhaul for the Western market? Sunsoft believed the original game storyline, centered around a futuristic planet and battle tanks, wouldn't capture the hearts and minds of Western gamers. They craved something relatable, something with a hook that would tug at their heartstrings. Enter Jason, a regular kid whose pet frog, Fred, leaps into a radioactive hole. Jason follows and stumbles upon an armored tank, Sophia 3, and voila! A hero was born, or rather, engineered for appeal. But how did they ensure this new storyline would stick? Sunsoft's developers, led by Yoshiaki Iwata and games director Kenji Sada, focused intensely on integrating the storyline with expansive, explorative gameplay that was ahead of its time. The game seamlessly blended side-scrolling with vertical and horizontal top-down levels, which were revolutionary. But their approach wasn't without controversy. The drastic shift from the planetary battle to a boy chasing his frog raised eyebrows. Critics questioned whether such a narrative would hold up, but Sunsoft's gamble paid off, leveraging the universal appeal of a relatable protagonist in a fantastical scenario. In depth, Sunsoft's team was a mix of veteran developers and fresh talent, pushing the envelope on the NES's capabilities. Iwata, already known for his innovative game design, advocated for the use of advanced scrolling techniques that enabled more dynamic levels. This technical prowess not only set Blaster Master apart, but also cemented Sunsoft's reputation for quality and innovation in an era dominated by more prominent players like Nintendo and Capcom. But at its core, this game's characters and storyline intertwine in a way that feels like an 80s kid's dream mashed into an NES cartridge. You've got Jason, the protagonist, whose adventure kicks off in a way that every pet owner dreads. His beloved frog, Fred, hops right into a radioactive hole. Classic pet shenanigans, am I right? But instead of a simple rescue, Jason finds himself in an underground world that's a melting pot of monsters and mysteries, all navigated in his newfound tank, Sophia 3. But what really makes Blaster Master stand out is how these elements enhance the gameplay. Jason isn't just a sprite, he's a character whose motivations drive the narrative forward. As players dive deeper into the underground mazes, they're not just blasting through enemies, they're piecing together Jason's determination to rescue Fred and unravel the secrets of this bizarre ecosystem. The story is simple, yet it serves as a perfect backdrop for the gameplay, allowing for a seamless blend of action and exploration. It's a narrative strategy that hooks players, the personal stake of rescuing a pet combined with the intrigue of a hidden subterranean world. This dual focus is crucial because it makes every level not just a challenge, but a chapter in a larger saga. The game leverages its narrative to introduce varied gameplay mechanics. As Jason, you navigate Sophia 3 through cavernous landscapes, tackling platform sections, and confront giant mutant bosses that challenge both your reflexes and your firepower. When not in Sophia, Jason's on-foot missions inside enemy lairs feature top-down shooting, adding a layer of gameplay diversity that keeps the adventure fresh. This interplay between character-driven storytelling and gameplay isn't just by design. It's a clever integration that few games of the era managed to achieve so effectively. Each new area and boss doesn't just represent a higher difficulty level, they symbolize deeper plunges into the unknown, pushing Jason and the player toward a climactic rescue mission that ties back to the very personal beginnings of the tale. Thus, Blaster Master doesn't just tell a story, it makes you live it through its gameplay, proving that even the simplest narratives can drive profound gaming experiences when perfectly married with action. But Blaster Master isn't just a game of action, it's a masterclass in NES-era gameplay innovation. The game blends platforming, shooting, and exploration with a deft touch that keeps players on the edge of their seats, or let's be real, the floor, because who had gaming chairs in the 80s? At its core, the gameplay is divided into two main styles: side-scrolling vehicle combat in Sophia 3, and on-foot dungeon crawling. Sophia isn't just your run-of-the-mill tank, it jumps, it swims, it climbs. Basically, it's the Swiss Army knife of armored vehicles. This allows for a dynamic gameplay experience where environments are not just backgrounds, but playgrounds for Sophia's capabilities. Then there's the on-foot sections. Once Jason exits Sophia, the game shifts to a top-down shooter perspective. These segments introduce a whole new layer of tactical gameplay. Jason must navigate mazes filled with enemies, all while managing limited ammo and upgrading his weapons. This switch not only diversifies the gameplay, but significantly ramps up the difficulty, keeping players on their toes and deeply engaged in strategizing their next move. Now, speaking of strategy, if you're strategizing how to keep up with more deep dives into classic games, hit that like and subscribe button. It's like finding an extra life in your favorite game. Totally unexpected, but super rewarding. The genius of Blaster Master lies in its seamless integration of these two gameplay modes. It creates a rhythm that feels both challenging and rewarding. The game cleverly uses its environment to enforce strategic thinking, caverns that require precise jumps, underwater sections that limit mobility, and enemy layers that test your shooting accuracy and puzzle-solving skills. Moreover, each new area introduces progressively tougher enemies and bosses, which are not just barriers, but puzzles in themselves. Each boss requires a unique approach, forcing players to adapt their strategy and make full of Jason's and Sophia's growing arsenal. This adaptive challenge is key to keeping the gameplay experience fresh and engaging throughout the game. Blaster Master sets itself apart by marrying its gameplay mechanics so tightly with its narrative and level design, making each jump, shot, and enemy encounter feel integral to the unfolding story. This thoughtful design ensures that players are not just passing through a series of disconnected levels, but truly embarking on a quest that challenges both their gaming skills and their emotional investment. And speaking of challenges, Blaster Master went up against stiff competition from other NES titles, but still managed to carve out its niche, selling impressively for a third-party title. Exact sales figures are a bit murky. Classic game, classic problems, but estimates suggest it pushed hundreds of thousands of units worldwide. A significant feat considering this is before the era of online sales and global marketing. Its impact resonated beyond just sales figures. Blaster Master influenced a generation of game developers and titles, pushing them to think more holistically about how narrative and gameplay can be intertwined. It also spawned several sequels and remakes, each trying to capture the original's magic in the modern gaming era, a testament to its enduring legacy. Now let's dig into the treasure trove of hidden gems that make Blaster Master a true enigma of the NES era. While many players focused on blasting through mutants and navigating complex terrain, a few eagle-eyed adventurers uncovered secrets and details that most of us probably missed. First on deck, there's the secret technique that allows players to skip entire levels. Yes, you heard it right, level skipping in a 1988 game. It involves a precise sequence of actions that exploit the game's scrolling mechanics, allowing savvy players to bypass chunks of the game. This wasn't a planned feature, but rather a glitch that turned into a legendary trick among the gaming community. But here's a tidbit that's even juicier. Within Blaster Master, there's a hidden room that many believe to be a nod to the developers themselves, a sort of secret hidden within the digital walls. This room doesn't appear on any map and has no strategic value, but it's filled with extra lives and power-ups, a reward for the curious and persistent enough to find it. If you've ever been to this room in Blaster Master, be sure to let us know in the comments to win the chance of being super duper awesome. And for the piece de resistance, remember the mysterious ending that left many players baffled? It turns out there's a specific reason why the ending seems so abrupt and enigmatic. The developers intentionally designed it to be open-ended, hoping to spur discussions and theories among players, much like a cliffhanger in a TV show. This decision not only fueled the game's mystique, but also kept community buzzing and speculating long after the game's release. And there you have it, folks. The hidden depths and explosive surprises of Blaster Master, a game that proves even a boy chasing his frog can lead to an epic saga beneath the Earth's surface. We blasted through mutants, leapt over lava, and uncovered secrets that were probably better left to the pixelated imagination. So, next time you're diving into an old school game, remember, there's always more than meets the eye, or in this case, more than the manual ever dared to disclose. Thanks for tuning in, and remember, the real game begins when the credits roll. Stay curious, gamers. If you enjoyed rolling back through the history of Blaster Master, click this video here to see more from the Retro Reload. And as always, thank you for watching.